How do you become friends with a dragon? The boy used a fat, juicy fish to try to bond with the legendary Night Fury, but the dragon's eyes instantly narrowed into cautious slits, clearly full of suspicion toward humans. The boy quickly realized it was the dagger at his waist that triggered the hostility. He carefully tossed the dagger to the ground and even kicked it farther away. The Night Fury's guard finally eased a little. It slowly moved closer to Hiccup, first baring its gums with no teeth at all, almost like a sign of goodwill. The very next second its sharp teeth shot out, snatching the fish straight from Hiccup's hand and swallowing it whole. But it did not leave. Instead, it backed him up against a boulder and then spit out a slimy, saliva-covered fish head, fixing him with soulful eyes. This was the dragon's version of sharing. Staring at the raw fish head made Hiccup's stomach turn, but he forced himself to take a bite. At first he tried to just hold it in his mouth, but the Night Fury gestured for him to swallow. Hiccup had no choice but to gulp it down, squeezing out a smile uglier than crying. To his surprise, the Night Fury copied him, pulling a goofy grin that instantly broke down the wall between their species. Hiccup gathered his courage and reached out to touch the dragon. The Night Fury instinctively stepped back but no longer resisted him. To communicate further, Hiccup used a stick to sketch its shape on the ground. The Night Fury grabbed its own stick and scratched lines into the dirt, then proudly admired its work. Hiccup did not understand what it meant, but he could feel the dragon's goodwill. When he accidentally stepped on the drawing, the Night Fury looked angry, but as soon as he lifted his foot it softened again. Finally Hiccup took a deep breath, turned his head away, closed his eyes, and stretched out a trembling hand. This time the Night Fury did not refuse. It gently pressed its scaly nose against his warm palm. In that soft touch a bond beyond species quietly formed, and Hiccup became the first human to call a dragon a friend. He decided to give it a name, Toothless, but soon Hiccup learned something heartbreaking. Unlike humans, once a dragon's body is injured, it cannot fly, and a dragon that cannot fly will not survive for long. Toothless' tail was incomplete. To save him, Hiccup stayed up late sketching blueprints, hammering steel, and sewing leather until he finally built a tail fin made of mechanics and ingenuity, one that could help Toothless balance in the air. The next day, while Toothless was devouring fish, Hiccup carefully attached the new tail fin. Feeling the sudden balance, Toothless was overjoyed. Without waiting for Hiccup to prepare, he spread his wings and shot into the sky with him. At one point they nearly smashed into rocks, but Hiccup quickly adjusted the tail and saved them. Toothless, thrilled at flying again, tried to shake him off. Yet once Hiccup fell, the dragon discovered he still could not steer on his own. After that, Hiccup kept improving the controls. He built a saddle and foot pedals for Toothless, and in that valley, the first dragon rider in history was born.